Here are some future ideas to help the problem. The Homeless Bus Project. One idea to help the homeless is this double-decker bus, which is being renovated by volunteers to provide shelter for homeless people throughout the year. The 1991 bus is being stripped of its seats and then filled with 16 beds. The bus will operate all year round, and 2 support staff will be hired to work on it throughout the year. David Freely of Sussex Homeless Support says, "The inspiration came from the amount of rough sleepers that are out in Brighton and Hove. We needed to take direct action to help solve this crisis. The bus cost £1,700. A Just Giving page has attracted more than 110 supporters and raised more than £2,600. But it is expected that more money will be needed to run the project throughout the year." Jim Dean, who also manages the project, used to be homeless in Brighton himself. He said, "I used to sleep on the streets of Brighton 33 years ago. There's a homeless crisis and nothing is happening. The older charities haven't grown, homelessness has, but they are all out of date. There are 187 recorded homeless people in Brighton at this moment in time. The increase is by 30 every week. The council can only do so much because of the amount of spending. The council estimates there are now 178 rough sleepers in Brighton and Hove. This means homelessness has risen by about 20% since last year."
So 8 weeks ago, Guy said to me, "We've got a bus." And when I said, "What?" He said, "No, we've got a bus." I thought he meant we're going to go on a bus, but apparently we've got a bus. And it was based on what we seen in Portsmouth. We seen the council only going to do what the council was supposed to do. And so we got the bus. And in 8 weeks, we've turned it into 12 beds, sitting area. There's everything on there that they'll need. And we'll coordinate with other facilities in the city so that there's everything on there that they need. And it'll be out every single night. We don't care whether you come from Liverpool or whether you come from Brighton, it makes no difference. Because, when you die in the street, they don't care, where you came from, you just die on the street. So, and that's pretty much it. So what I can say is go and have a look and see what you think of it. It's rough and ready around the outside, but our guys are rough and ready around the outside, so they're probably going to love it. You've got a choice between the bus shelter and the bus for a change, and I think when you see it, you'll be pretty impressed by what we've managed to do in an 8-week period at peanuts. Considering the council spent £1 million failing, and then another £1 million failing, and then £12 million failing, and what we've done with a few £1,000s and a load of hard work from really dedicated volunteers who've put every hour in, slept on the bus where they've worked on the bus, because most of the work's been done by guys that are homeless or been homeless, so they actually know just how desperate this needs to be, and I think you'll be pretty impressed. So just you have a quick look and see what you think.
Everybody's put a lot of hard work into it, of their own time. Everything's been donated to us. We've worked really hard to get the project to get the people off the street of Brighton because they're so vulnerable and so many of them have got mental issues which should never be on the street. It's quite sad walking around and doing it every day and feeding them and seeing what they're going through, knowing you go home to your nice warm bed every night. It's just really harsh, really. The bus is run by sponsors. People sponsor to put their ads on the bus. We've already got a lot of sponsors, so each window and the big orange part of the bus, the big orange side of the bus has already been sponsored today, both sides through a company I know. Each window will be sponsored, so it'd have their logo on, and they pay to have their logo on the bus for a year. And that is what will run the bus. The security is run by Coastal Security, and they're doing that free of charge because they do a lot of events for the homeless. So they will have a hub on our bus, so we will have permanent security on the bus to keep everybody safe who is on the bus.
Okay. Right, 8 weeks, hard work. I hear declare the Titanic, the bus.
Sussex Homeless. Oh, no, right.
What is this? Suicide scissors.
Wait,
Oh, really?
That's just like the icing on the cake.
Sorry, had to go wrong, mate. Please welcome, have a look.
Oh, that's the icing on the cake.
Where's that? Suicide scissors.
A lot of people, but a lot of hard work in the last few days, and been here all days, all nights, not sleeping, and just really gone as far ahead as we could with it because the weather's been awful and these people are sleeping out in this weather and they shouldn't be out here. So we're quite proud that the work we're doing is saving lives every single day, and this will just help us save them in more ways because there's so many mentally ill patients on the streets who will not ask for help, and when they do ask for help it's really hard for them because they can't interact with people, and if people aren't compassionate then they'll just carry on sleeping in the gutter, and then one day they don't wake up. And no one, and I mean nobody, should have to live like that. An animal doesn't live like that. If there is a stray dog, it is picked up, it is taken to a shelter, it is fed, it is looked after, and it is rehomed. But we feel that it's fine to leave a human being sleeping on the street. In this, the other week we had people in George Street and people walking by saying to us they were sleeping on the street and they were smothered in frost in the morning. No one deserves that. No matter what, nobody deserves to sleep in the street. And in this day and age, it shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't be happening.
That was scary. We're having a get cut. Just stop running. You had a slide.
Yeah.
Well, you take care, people.
See you later. Bye, Ken.
Hey, go look.
Just cut that bus in half, didn't you?
I've broken the bus already, Jim.
Look at that, look.
It's not just the fact we have 12 beds, we have enough seats in there, so we don't have beds, they're not on the street, they can come and they can sit down, they can watch telly, they can chill out. There's enough seating area on there to take a lot more than 12 people because there's about 12 seats as well on there. So with the seating, if there's not a bed, they will not be left on the floor outside. They will be able to go and sit down and maybe nod in the chair. It's not that comfortable, but it's better than being outside, and they can watch telly, have a hot drink and know they're safe. And that is the main point of making sure they're safe.